Hey everybody, this is dHunter bringing another action figure collection video. Today, we're going to be looking at Kenner's Batman Mask of the Phantasm collection. There are 7 basic figures in this collection. It's an offshoot of the Batman the Animated Series line. If you want to check out my entire Batman unopened action figure collection, go check out episode 1. It'll blow your mind. There will be a link in the description below. This is going to be a smaller video. Just 7 figures. Batman Mask of the Phantasm is arguably the best Batman animated film out there, and there are some really good Batman animated films. Hell, this is better than the majority of the live-action films. Mask of the Phantasm got a theatrical release way back in the day, and as a kid, I never saw it in theaters. In fact, I never saw this movie until years later, and I really wish I had seen it as a kid. The movie is fantastic. Kind of like the animated series' version of Batman Year One. As far as the figures go, it's pretty much just a bunch of variants of Batman. Then we have Joker and Phantasm. Now the twist in the film, Phantasm ended up being Andrea Beaumont, Bruce's old girlfriend. As far as figure form goes, it's pretty much a Batman rogue, created for the film, never done in figure form before, so that really appealed to me. As mostly a 6 and 7 inch collector, I got this Phantasm because it was the only way to get one at the time, but it was far too small for my collection. In this video, we'll take a look at each of the figures from the wave, and we'll check out which figures that I currently have unopened. I got some real good use out of that Bruce Wayne to Batman Grapnel Launcher. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, but before we continue, let's see how it got to this point. Here's my overall collection. Before we dig into this video, let's take a quick look at my overall action figure collection. Here's when I had everything laid out in the house. So I think I've finally done it. I've unpacked all of the figures. As you can see here, we have the Diamond Select Toys Gotham collection. Here's a bunch of my Mezco unopened figures. Some more Mattel stuff. Here's the Legends of the Dark Knight line. This is the Batman Power Attack line. Sort of Batman Unlimited. All my Justice League Unlimited stuff. This is the entire DC Direct and DC Collectibles Arkham collection. Mattel's 1966 line. DC Superhero Girls. All the different NECA Batman figures. Some Target exclusive line. All the amazing Yamaguchi figures back there. Some Spin Master stuff. The Mattel Batman Missions line. Of course, in the very back, it's my entire comic collection with all the recent McFarlane releases in front. And above that, got a bunch of DC Direct and Mattel figures in the last several years. Moving on. Pretty much the entire Mattel's The Batman line. Back here in the back, got my SH Figure Arts Batman figures. This side, we've got all the different Mattel Dark Knight Rises, Batman Begins figures. Massive amount of piles. Back here we've got the DC Collectibles Batman the Animated Series figures, and a lot of them are on top as well. Can't wait to get to that video. That one and the Arkham Collection and DC Universe Classics. Some videos I'm really excited to do. Here are the Mattel figures. I can see the Batman Legacy, Batman Unlimited. It goes all the way from the original Batman line. Here's the Batmobile. And it's going to go all the way to DC Superheroes, DC Universe Classics, and Multiverse. A ton of figures. Great era with Mattel. Fun stuff. But I do like what McFarlane's doing. But I do miss these days, that's for sure. Going back to Kenner and Hasbro. Ton of Batman Beyond. Batman the Animated Series stuff. I mean, that just seemed endless to go through. My word. Look at these piles of unopened figures. Batman Animated Series continues all the way back here. Absolute ton of stuff just stacked up. On top of this table here, Got all the Mafex figures and a bunch of one-offs. Some Hasbro, some McFarlane, or Mattel rather, anniversary figures. Amazing Yamaguchi, Kia Asima, all kind of different import type stuff. Then we've got JLA and Total Justice figures. And then on to all the rest of the DC Direct stuff. Bunch of DC Direct Batman related figures. Some more chill in the back here. And I filled up all these shelves temporarily, just storing all these DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And it's almost done. Here's the Mattel Batman Brave and the Bold line. I did not realize how extensive that got. And a ton more Brave and the Bold down here. Moving on again. Some old Toy Biz, Super Friends, and DC superhero figures. Leading into the Dark Knight collection. Then we'll go to the Batman Returns figures. And then, of course, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, a bunch of different Bat Caves, and some more animated stuff in the back there. So I thought we'd start off by looking at all the regular Batman variants. And you know what? They didn't make a single regular looking Batman for this film. That is just crazy. We've got Rapid Attack Batman, Retro Batman, Total Armor Batman, and Tornado Batman. Still looking at this in disbelief, we didn't get a single gray and blue Batman as he was in 90% of the film. So let's look at Rapid Attack Batman. He seems to be a straight up repaint and re-release of the initial Combat Belt Batman from Batman the Animated Series. He's in this sort of silver costume. He's got a Grapnel Launcher, utility belt, some bat cuffs, pretty nice accessories. Batman Mask of the Phantasm, Rapid Attack Batman, with escape hook and utility belt. Color scheme is sort of normal, but sort of not. Backside, you can see the accessories in action. Captures Joker with the handcuffs, uses grapnel gun. And here's a checklist. The checklist is a mixture of Batman Mask of the Phantasm figures and Batman the Animated Series figures. I don't think any of these vehicles got released under the Mask of the Phantasm banner. Now let's look at Retro Batman. His ears are noticeably longer. Makes me think of Justice League Unlimited, although that was not out at the time. I believe this is sort of Batman in his older Batsuit before the modern Batsuit he used in the animated series. Retro Batman with spinning battle spear. He's got this long staff with Batman logos on either end. Backside here, you can see his accessory in action and the rest of the wave. This is the closest to a regular Batman we got from this wave. And here's Total Armor Batman with full body armor and shield. Actually, it's kind of cool. Looks like a maroon colored batsuit under the armor, snap-on armor, removable helmet. All looks pretty decent, except for the shield and stuff. Backside, you can see him without the armor and with it. Then we have the checklist. And finally, we're looking at Tornado Batman with whirling weapon. Got this sort of launching, whirling propeller looking thing. Backside, you can see how the accessory works. And the rest of the figures. And I mentioned this Rapid Attack Batman being a straight up re-release of the main Batman from the Batman the Animated Series line. Here's Combat Belt Batman. You can see identical mold on both the accessories and the figure. And you know what? This is not even the first time they've re-released this guy. Here he is in the exact same paint job, exact same accessories. Rapid Attack Batman. He was released in both Batman the Animated Series and Mask of the Phantasm. And I also noticed that Tornado Batman had been previously released in the Batman the Animated Series line. And now let's look at the rest of the figures. We have Decoy Batman, Phantasm, and Jetpack Joker. Now, Decoy Batman is a Batman variant, but he's also Bruce Wayne. I didn't have any of these figures as a kid, but as an adult, I got the Decoy Batman and Phantasm. I got the Decoy Batman because I got pretty much all the old figures that were Bruce Wayne's, and I got Phantasm because she was the only way to get that rogue. So let's check them out. As you can see, Decoy Batman, Mask of the Phantasm, with crime-fighting Decoy disguise. His head would sort of go into his body, and you'd add that torso and chest piece on. Also got the pretty cool Grapnel Launcher. Backside, you can see him putting the armor on, then using his Grapnel Launcher, and it can actually pretty much function. Then we have the checklist. Here's Phantasm with chopping arm action, as seen in the Batman the Animated Movie. Andrea Beaumont, she has her disguise on, the big hook, the Phantasm mask and cape, little gun, very similar to the Reaper. Backside, you can see her with her gear on, and she also has this chopping arm. And I was very impressed that they actually gave us the unmasked and masked version of Phantasm. You'd think they would just throw the mask on there. Feels like they thought that girl action figures were not very popular and wouldn't sell back then. And I think there is some truth to that, although I absolutely love releases like this. Then we have Jetpack Joker. You can see him with his jetpack there, with a capture nozzle. The jetpack looks pretty cool. He also has a little flight helmet. I like the design, as seen in Batman the Animated Movie. Backside, you can see him using his jetpack, and he's got this little capture thing going on here. Then we have the checklist. Now, I didn't have any of these as a kid, but as an adult, I tracked down the Decoy Batman. I pretty much got all the different Batman figures that were also Bruce Wayne. He has this armor at the front. You can remove it, expose his torso. It's not a very good Bruce Wayne figure, as he still has the gauntlets, and he's definitely not in a traditional Bruce Wayne business suit. And when I initially got this Decoy Batman, my son and I, we used to play with the 5-inch figures, put them in the different Batman cars, drive around. That was many years ago. I was very impressed with this Grapnel Launcher. Sure, it's oversized, but it fits in the hands of the majority of my action figures, and it actually functions. I was so impressed that I decided to track down some more of this Decoy Batman. He was pretty cheap on eBay, especially if you got a loose one complete with accessories. So it looks like I've purchased a total of 4 of these guys. We have the one Unopen, and then I got 3 loose ones, specifically for the Grabnel Launcher. I couldn't even find the other 2 figures. These Grapnel Launchers work great with your 6-inch scale Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. In addition to fitting their hands great, like I said, it actually functions. Got the string wrapped around, pull it. It's a pretty long grapnel, and you can easily attach this onto a ledge or wrap it around something, and even put the string inside this bat symbol here. Works very nicely. And they also work great with your 7-inch scale McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. That is why I felt like I had to have 3 of these. Batman, Nightwing, and Robin, functioning grapnels in my Gotham City. Now as an adult, I also tracked down the Phantasm. I picked this because it was the only version of Phantasm made in action figure form, at least way back when I purchased it. I had it for quite some time, and eventually I said, you know what, I'm sick of not having a 6-inch scale Phantasm, and decided to make my own. So I took the mask and the claw, repainted them a little bit, ripped the cloth off the mask, and made this. Here is my 6-inch scale Mattel DC Universe Classic style Phantasm. I love the fact that the mask was so oversized on this 5-inch figure that it worked great on the 6-inch body. Gave it this long flowing gray cape. The claws also work perfect on this figure. I used a male body on purpose because in the film it definitely left you with the impression that Phantasm was a male. The twist that it was actually his ex-girlfriend. Kinda cool. Of course, that was years before DC Direct made their own version of Phantasm in their Batman the Animated Series line. And this Phantasm is a little bit smaller than the DC Universe Classic size figures, so I was happy to have both. And if you've been watching these videos, you should already know that I have the DC Direct Phantasm, both open and unopened. Here's Kenner's Phantasm, next to DC Direct's Phantasm. So that was my Kenner Batman Mask of the Phantasm action figure collection video. Stay tuned for the next video. That's going to contain the New Adventures of Batman collection. That is Season 4 of Batman the Animated Series when the designs changed. After that, we'll tell you when Hasbro took over the line and continued with the animated stuff simply titled Batman. Then we'll get to Batman Beyond, Batman Mission Masters, and Justice League Unlimited. So this is dHunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add it to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure collection videos and action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is dHunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.